About the Index Card RPG by Hankrin Farinale. And here's my really short version of of my review. This is a 5 out of 5 star game. I absolutely suggest getting this game immediately. It is the second best tabletop role playing game that I have that has been published in 2017. The only game to beat it is Blades in the Dark, which I hold it in extremely high regard. Index Card RPG really surprised me. It is an absolutely fantastic tabletop role-playing game. I purchased the PDF version on, specifically I purchased it on Drive-Thru RPG for $16.50. It includes a 190-page tabletop role-playing game core rulebook, and it contains these images, ready-to-use images for creating these index cards that the game uses, as well as standees that you can use in place of miniatures. And all told, it really is just a fantastic, incredibly functional, incredibly versatile tabletop role-playing game made by a very smart game designer. It is really a fantastic package. Can't suggest it high enough. If you have any reservations, check out the absolutely free Index Card RPG Quick Start, which is really fantastic, really well put together, gives lots of crunch, and actually really gives you a lot of the game, which props for doing that, because I love freebies, and actually this totally worked. I read the index, so I didn't even know I really had skipped this game. I saw it on the list. I knew it was a new game for a tabletop role-playing game for 2017, and I really just kind of bypassed it. And the reason why was the cover just did not grasp me. But don't make that same mistake. This is an amazing game. Really fantastic, and it's really something special. So let me start talking about what it is. So definitely check out the Quick Start, and if you like the Quick Start, buy it, because this should be on every serious Game Master's table. This thing is a whole lot of stuff. So let me start talking about what it is. So it is a traditional tabletop role-playing game mixed with indie with a lot of very good indie RPG ideas in it. But it is a very traditional tabletop role-playing game in that it plays a lot like Dungeons and Dragons. It's actually crafted to really mirror Dungeons & Dragons in every single possible way, with very crafted compression of complexity. I think a lot of the best games right now, they're doing this. They're doing this crafted compression of complexity. And that's what this game has. It takes the complexity of Dungeons & Dragons and, really compresses that, and that compression is carefully crafted by the designer. This thing is really amazing. So it's a whole bunch of things, right? So you can play traditional, you can actually use this to play in every single Dungeons & Dragons world. You could play in Planescape, you can play in Forgotten Realms, you can play in Greyhawk, you can play in Birthright, you can play, all of them, right? And using the Index Card RPG rules, right? So it is a plug-in for Dungeons & Dragons, and it actually is so flexible, it functions as a plug-in for every single tabletop role-playing game out there, which is amazing, right? It's so elegant and simple and fast, and it has a really unique style to it. It has a unique style throughout. It has a unique style in the art. It has a unique style in the writing. This thing is, Index Card RPG is like a left hook, man. I was so surprised by this game. It really came out of nowhere, and it's just stellar. It's absolutely stellar game. All right, what else is it beyond a Dungeons & Dragons plugin, right? And also other tabletop role-playing game plugins. By the way, I've done videos on rescuing RPGs with Fate and with Cypher, right? This game is actually crafted to do it, and may actually do it better than Fate or Cypher. it's a great tool to use. Like a good example would be like Rifts. I would never run Rifts with its actual rule system, because its actual rule system is incredibly dated and really wonky. But Rifts is an amazing world, an absolutely amazing world, right? You could run Rifts with this very, very easily and very, very effectively. All right, what else is it beyond that, right? It actually comes with 2 settings in the box. Now, I'm sorry, I shouldn't say box, in the core rulebook, right? And what are those 2 settings? One is Alfheim, which is a generic fantasy tabletop role-playing game setting, okay? And then it comes with Warp Shell, which is a generic space opera setting, and those are super concise and super fun and super well crafted and just really, really good. Like, it's amazing, okay? I want to talk about the art a little bit. So it looks to me, I'm pretty sure of this, that Hankrin, so the art is really unique. The art is all done with like Sharpies, right? It's got this Sharpie style, but it's exactly like Batman the Animated Series, right? I feel like when you look at Batman the Animated Series art, it's like, is this cheap or is this stylized? And you're like, it's stylized, you know? And so I think they saved a little bit of money on this, but it just looks super stylized and really, really beautiful. I was so impressed with it. Really just absolutely fantastic. So it really is a really incredibly useful game. It can be used as a plug-in. It can be used to run a generic fantasy game, and it can be used to run a generic space opera game. And I highly suggest buying it, and I'm gonna discuss the rules within it separately. So that's my overall review for Index Card RPG. I really can't suggest it high enough. It's absolutely fantastic. Wonderful, wonderful game. Highly, highly recommended. Take care.